I am Ashok Baddi. I'm running for the position of state representative from Michigan District 56, which encompasses Troy, most of Troy, Clawson, a little bit of Royal Oak, and Bloomfield Hills. Well, I've been a resident of Troy for over a decade now. I've been working in the community, trying to help our community in various ways, and people in Troy, in and around Troy, know me well. So that is the reason why I chose to work for a district that I live in. Demographic composition is mostly predominantly a white American district with a substantial, composition. We have almost 25% of the population is of Indian origin. 25%, which is a very sizable number. Um, Polling wise, we have about 12,000 voters, which is a very big number uh, that can actually make or break an election. So, being from the Indian community does help because, um, again, that's the data, demographic data shows that we have the numbers to weigh. Fine. So, I've been in the community for a long time. I've been active in politics also for the long time. And it is my personal belief that it is only through political will that we can actually make change happen. We can go to temples all day long, pray all day long, but any change, any positive change that we would like to see in the community, and when I say community, it is not just the Indian American community. Once we are here, we are an American as anybody else. Uh, so this is the community. This is where our kids are going to grow up. This is where I'm going to go to grave. I will be burnt here. So I wish to see a change here in the community and serve our people more. The decision to run came just about close of the end of last year, but I've again served, politically and in the community wise for over a decade now. I've been politically active for almost 8 years now. I was in the Democratic Party, served as a core team member for several fundraisers for the governor of Michigan, held several fundraisers for a couple of congressmen, held fundraisers for state representatives. It's not just holding fundraisers, but being actively part of their campaign and holding placards, doing door knocking and stuff like that, and ensuring their victories. Right from council elections to school boards, I've been involved in a lot of elections. So over a period of time, slowly started realizing that the core value system that I personally believe in, maybe because of my upbringing, be it because of my religion, are more oriented towards the Republican side. Um, like, for example, I personally believe that there are two clear genders. I believe in the existence of the third gender, and they should have a right to live with all freedom, but doesn't necessarily mean that it is something they need to be proud of. And I at no point of time will accept my daughter going to a school or be a part of a swim team where a biological male who identifies himself as female is a part of the team. I cannot accept my daughter going to the same bathroom as that person. Even physically, there are sports that are meant for men and for women. So biologically, and it is science. It is not. I'm not saying anything against women in the world, but there are different capabilities, and I think that is the way God is created, and I respect I respect God's creation. Well, main some of the issues like education, right? So I'm all for honoring the honors program, keeping the honors program intact. I believe every child has a different learning capacity and capability, and it should remain so. So right now, Troy, city of Troy is working to remove the honors program, and my opponent and others are for it. While I want to keep retain the honors program, they believe that the Indian community and the Chinese community think it is they want the honors program to keep it as a bragging right, which is so far from truth. It is not a bragging right. It is just that we realize that the ability of a child, of each child, is different, and they should have a free hand in choosing whatever subjects beyond their age. If they're capable of learning, they should be allowed to do that. I belong to Hyderabad, city in South India. It is widely known for its IT. But yeah, when we came here, me and my wife is a physician. She's a pediatric nephrologist. So Dr. Purnima, and we came to this country in 2005. We lived in New York for about 3 years. But my immigration story is a lot different from a typical, Desi or Indian immigrant. Most of the immigrant stories, they live in big cities, uh, work in IT or become doctors and engineers and work in big companies. But again, like I said, my wife is a doctor, and there is a program, a government program that um, when a doctor serves in medically underserved areas, their path to immigration becomes quicker. So we lived in a rural America, literally in farms, cotton farms, cornfields. So we from New York, we moved to a place called Americus in Georgia. That's about 2.5 hours southwest of Atlanta. So practically nothing there. It is famous for a small village called Plains, Georgia, from where former President Jimmy Carter came from. We were about 9 miles away from Plains, Georgia. And Plains, Georgia is like one traffic light village. There's only one traffic light. There's like nothing there. It's like you cross the traffic light and you're out of the village. It's that big. So we lived in New York. Just I keep saying, it's the city of the cities. Mahanagaronka Mahanagara was New York. From there, we got promoted to a city called Americus, where we had 17,000 population, uh, literally in farmland. From there, we moved to a place called Dexter in Missouri, 5,000 population, basically 1 square mile. After that, you go out of that and you're out of that. We practically lived in about a 400-acre farmland, and with in the fields literally. Before we decided to come to Michigan, and then we actually saw city life again. Saw America, like, okay, now oh, this is what America is. Otherwise, we were in farms and with snakes and with deer and things. So the only thing we would have in those cities, in those places, was a Walmart supercenter. That was one common thing in Americas and in Dexter. So basically, where do you go for shopping? Walmart supercenter. Where do you go for your groceries? Walmart supercenter. So that was the story. Yeah. Well, not much of a choice for me. I grew up in Hyderabad, which is a city, and um, I was a pretty popular uh, guy in Hyderabad. I was always surrounded by friends. We were all, a group of 25, 30 people, and we would meet almost every day. So I was always with people. Suddenly, when, from New York, we moved to a place, and there you find nobody there, nobody to talk to. All you see is a car there once in a while, or tractors and big farm equipment rolling around in your neighborhood, and it is hard, it is tough, because there's practically nothing to do. Slowly got used to it, and luckily I was into movie distribution at that point of time, so that kind of kept me engaged. Watched movies to kill time, did some learn some farming techniques there, shoot, record. I was in the film world my previous life when I was in India, so I was interested in buying cameras and stuff like that, and I would buy cameras and record the farmers doing various tasks, right from plowing to harvesting. I still have those records. I mean, they're a treasure that I keep. So far, we have just made the baby steps in the campaign itself, and I think the response is overwhelming. I am truly blessed to be surrounded by some close friends and family who are rock solid behind me. So it gives me the strength to take on the hurdles. Politics is not easy. Politics is one place where anybody can say anything against you, and you're always on the defensive, because there's a saying in Telugu, it's easy to just throw some mud on you and then say, hey, you have got a dirty shirt, and I got to keep cleaning that dirt away. And the dirty laundry is always to be cleaned, and the responsibility always happens to be the politician in question there. So it is tough, but when you have a good team, even if the team is 5 people, that is victory number one. Our plan is to make that team bigger and bigger, keep the community engaged. And when I say community, and I would respectfully say, yes, I belong to the Indian American community, but the community is the place, the city that I live in, which includes everyone. And that is what my religion has taught me. As a strong Hindu, I believe in inclusiveness, and that is our daily prayer, where we pray for Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu and not Hindu Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. So we are very inclusive by DNA, and the reason why we make good Americans is because we come and amalgamate into the society. We we don't become two elements, we become one element. We mix well, and that is the good thing about the Indian Americans here, because we are law abiding, we are taxpayers, we don't go out in the street and do any kind of a ruckus there, and we contribute positively. There is nothing that we can find fault with, and we are all here legally. So for me, getting into this country legally is a big yes. I'm personally, I'm against illegal immigrants. Well, do they come? Do they have a right to live? Yes, and there are legal ways in which they come. There is the asylum if they have issues there. There are various, and this country is so great. It is the only country in the world which has an open door policy. There is there's a person from every city in the entire world in this country. You name a city in the world, and you will find them here. So there is no discrimination, there is no restriction on any particular city or country here. So I think we should follow the law, and everything will be in place. So right now I am being challenged by, in fact, she is an incumbent. She is already a state rep, Sharon McDonald, who is a Democrat, whom we supported in the previous run. Yeah, me and our team and me, I was the chair for the Michigan Indian American Democratic Caucus, and as a caucus chair, I had supported her. But I feel she has not delivered much to the community. She is now voting against the honors program, for example. She's done practically nothing to keep the Indian American community involved, nor doing any good. The roads in Troy suck. There is no policy that she has, no bill that she has introduced that is going to help the city of Troy. So there is nothing that she has done in the 2 terms that she has been elected. So I think it is time for a change, and change for the better. Campaign will obviously involve a lot of funds. They say money is, the dollar is the mother's milk of politics in America, and we must raise funds. So I would, and that is one area where the Indian American community, especially those who are watching, must realize that we must donate to politics. It is very important, and it's not just donating to the temples where you get a package. You donate $10,000 and you get X amount of punya. You donate $100,000, you get a bigger punya. So the concept of punya becomes, I think, and there is a package, there is a barter system with God. In politics, there is nothing. You donate to a temple, you can file your tax returns, you get some tax benefits. You donate to politics, there is nothing. But what one must realize is, if you donate to politics and you have lawmakers who will listen to you, it opens the corridors of power. And once those corridors open, everything changes. We can have laws that are going to favor our future generation. We can have laws that are going to make our lives better. And that is what we need to do. We must come together, stay together, and live together. And um, I can quote my political guru Dr. Kumar, who says that we must learn to have the wolf pack mentality. We are tribal in nature. We must learn to live in packs. We are very great individually. We are all very successful people, millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, doctors, and we have made several donations politically too. But we do that individually to get our name out. But instead of that, if all the citizens, all the people who are eligible to make a donation, donate even $50, we will have millions of dollars in funding, and we can actually. And for me, I've told this to several people. My dream is to see one congressman from all the 50 states. So it is just a beautiful thought, where if you have 50 people standing in front of the Capitol and a photograph of all the 50 congressmen of Indian origin in front of the Capitol, that is a wonderful uh, picture that, just imagining that gives me goosebumps. And just imagine what it is going to do strategically between United States and India. You have 50 lawmakers who are there for you to talk about you. So the employment it is going to generate, the positive results that it is going to generate to the entire world. If America and India become strategically very strong partners, then the entire world is going to get benefit.